Hey everyone, I'm Mr. G, and on this channel I solve programming challenges in Scratch, Snap, and JavaScript while thinking out loud to help out those that may be struggling or maybe stuck somewhere trying to solve something. If you're new here and you enjoy this video or you learned something, please consider subscribing and definitely hit the like button if you do like it. A few weeks ago, I released a video titled 5 Websites to Practice Coding, and in it I mentioned this website freeCodeCamp. And I always recommend freeCodeCamp to anyone that's just starting out trying to learn how to code because everything's available for free and they have a lot of content and a lot of good lessons. So I decided that I'm going to record myself thinking through these problems out loud and maybe it'll help someone out there. Before you continue watching, make sure that you actually gave it an honest shot and tried to figure this out on your own. Don't just sit there passively having never tried this and just watching me solve the problem, because you're not going to learn that way. You're really only going to learn and grow when you challenge yourself to solve these problems. But if you do get stuck, that's where my video comes in and my thought process to help you out. So in today's video, we have to write an algorithm to convert Celsius into Fahrenheit. And they've already started us off with some starter code, but I'm going to read through the instructions and kind of figure it out on the fly myself. So it tells us that the algorithm to convert Celsius to Fahrenheit is the temperature in Celsius times 9 divided by 5, or times 9/5, plus 32. So we're given a variable Celsius representing a temperature in Celsius. And we want to use the variable Fahrenheit that's already been defined and assign it the Fahrenheit temperature equivalent to the given Celsius temperature. So we want to return what the correct Fahrenheit is for the Celsius input. Use the algorithm mentioned above to help convert the Celsius temperature to Fahrenheit. So I just want to mention here, in case you don't know what's actually going on here, or if you're coming from Scratch or Snap, then Celsius is a temporary variable. In this function, Celsius is actually a parameter. So Celsius is the parameter, and on line 6, we actually give it an argument of 30. So we give it an input of 30. This won't work until we actually figure out what should go inside of the function. So we take an input of Celsius. We have a Fahrenheit variable that right now is not doing anything, or it's not calculating any math. And then we return out the value of Fahrenheit so that when this function is called, it takes that input, that Celsius input, and returns or spits back the correct Fahrenheit temperature. So they've already given us the math that we should take our Celsius value, multiply it by 9/5, and then add 32 to that. So I'm going to do that starting on line 2. I'm going to set Fahrenheit equal to Celsius times 9, and then I'm going to divide all of this by 5. And I'm going to use parentheses to make it really easy to read and understand if anyone's looking at this code. So we multiply Celsius by 9, divided by 5, and then we have to add 32 to this entire thing. So once again, I'm going to put everything in parentheses, and then add 32 after that. So we want to make sure that we're following PEMDAS rules here, and that's why I'm using the parentheses to keep it very obvious, to show exactly what I'm doing here. And then on line 3, we return Fahrenheit, and this should work. This should be our solution to this problem. Now what we could do is we could run the tests and see if it works, and it tells us that it does. So when you hit run tests, it does all of these things here on the bottom left. It tries out these inputs, it tries 0 and sees what comes out and tests it and basically checks to make sure that the returned value is exactly what they're expecting. So we solved it. We could actually refactor this just a little bit. So I don't need to separate this into 2 lines. I could literally just return everything here. So I don't even have to name a variable Fahrenheit. I could just return the Celsius multiplied by 9 divided by 5 and then add 32 to that answer. And this should still work. If I run the tests, we still get the same result. I'm going to go back and leave it the way it was, just because this is a little bit more readable for a human. And when we write code, we're really writing code for humans. It's not just for the computer to interpret. We really want someone else to look at the code and be able to understand what's going on. So that's why we declare the Fahrenheit variable on line 2, and then we return it out of the function on line 3. So that's the response that someone calling it is going to receive. And that's how you solve this first problem. So if you learned something from this video, if it helped you out, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more videos coming soon, and if you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments below and I will get to them pretty quickly. Thanks for watching.